Look, to David Cohen, what do you think I'm losing my mind for? Like, this problem could have been fixed back when I was staying with a friend. When I thought I created the first email address. But meanwhile I didn't. That's what I'm saying. It was prior to that. But that's not here or there, right? So I came across a possible solution. And that was only because I wanted to watch TV. And I wasn't playing no fucking games. So then it's interesting how all the shit in my life picks up at that precise moment. Now, good things were supposed to take place that I realize now would have been good things that would have taken place. And then there was the bullshit that started. And then a few years later goes by and the same, everything else calms down. And then I say to myself, wow, it's like, fuck this. Let me look into buying one of these. And the minute I went to go into looking to buy one of these, all of a sudden, problems picked up again. It's not hard to figure this out, man. It's like every single time that I went to go and do what I needed to do to fix simple problems that every single fucking person fixes on a normal fucking basis and even a semi-normal basis. That's where because every single time I went to go fix those problems, that's when the shit started back up. So give me a fucking break. It's like, it's bad enough that like that 15, 16, 20 fucking years prior to me ever using a computer, like really using a computer. That's what the fucking whole thing is. That's why I'm saying it's like I ended up here. Wow, that's fucking interesting, in a house that I was kidnapped when I was 4. And then I'm saying to myself, oh wow, look at that. And then none of this shit was in my head. I didn't care about anything that I've done in the fucking past or things that I did good. I just knew that I was like, you know what, let me just get the fuck up my shit together and fucking try to make some money with my freaking CD so I can get the fuck on with my life. No, man, it never stops. It never fucking stops. And what pisses me off is, like I said, it's like 5 years ago with almost none of this shit in my head. I said, you know what, man, what the fuck? Why can't I can't even play my fucking video game without the fucking thing experiencing some weird shit. Like, my shit should be like that. Yeah, everybody else's shit is like that. But why is my shit not working? I'm like, nah, man. I called them in. I returned 3 boxes to them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They're like, we don't know why you're having so many problems, sir. It's like, well, and then they're like, we're going to have a technician come out there, blah, blah, blah. They bring me a bigger modem. They're like, and this is after all the normal shit. So they bring me back a bigger modem. They're like, this modem can power an entire block. Okay? It could power pretty much this entire block by itself. Yeah. Or whatever the fuck they said to me about that one. Within 3 days' time, just like the other normal modem that I had, within 3 days' time, that shit was glitching all over again. I bring that one back. I say, what the fuck is going on? They give me a fucking tower. They're like, this can power an entire office building in the city by itself. You should have no problem with connection speed or anything for that matter with this. It took 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. Yeah. Wow. 2.5 weeks. That was fucking, and that's when I got fucking tired, pissed off, tired. They came, they pick up I told them, come get your shit. They fucking picked up the shit, and then freaking, I said, you know something? I'm like, fuck this. Because I had my own fucking personal thoughts on what was going down, and I'm like, they're running the fucking cable line through a side of the fucking house, and I seen the guy, the landlord, playing with fucking shit that's on the opposite side of the house, but that the line seemed to be running up into. Okay? So it was coming in from one side of the house, and there was a whole fucking spaghetti entanglement down there of fucking wires. I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm like, you know something? And I start saying, I'm like, you know, it's funny that, you know, he's going and he's playing with this fucking thing that it seems like the cable wire is going into, and it's going through this other thing that seems like it's a splitter too. And it's like, nah, I'm not paying for everybody's fucking bullshit. And then fucking, the point being, and I'm cursing, right? So, see, I don't even know who you are. All I'm saying is that, what I do after that is I say, you know something? They can't freaking, if the line's not there, they have to run a new line, right? So I cut the fucking lines out of my part of the house. What, $5 worth of wiring? Give me a break. I fucking cut the wires all out of my fucking house, and I said, on my side of the house, and fucking, I said, now, I want you to come here, and I want you to run the line the right way, because I have video. See, I'm leaving out that too. I'm leaving out the fact that the freaking, with the bare cable line, no cable box attached at all, I was able to plug the bare cable line into the, what the fuck, the auxiliary, whatever the fuck it is, you know, the cable fucking part where you have to still screw in the cable instead of the 3 wires. So the bottom line is that freaking, I plugged just the bare line into the freaking TV, and all of a sudden I was picking up fucking channels. I was picking up this, that. I was like, but not all the time. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And slowly but gradually they all. But what was really interesting was when literally, and this is something that because the channels alone would not have been. The channel, picking up channels with the bare cable line alone, that was sort of impressive in today's age with no modem. But what was really impressing me at that point, and I took videos of it, was literally I was watching, my TV would just fucking turn on, and people were playing fucking video games on my fucking television from the cable company. Now I didn't get the fucking whole TV turning on part, but I got the fucking videos being played, the video games, other people playing video games on my TV multiple different times with only the fucking wire plugged into the television, no modem whatsoever. And when I told this to the cable company, they turned around to me and they said, "That's impossible, sir. That's impossible, sir." Like, look. Wow. That's really, that, it was right after that, literally right after that phone call, that I was like, all right. And I ripped out all the fucking cable lines on my side of the house. I said, I'll pay for the new lines to be run into the fucking house, but I want you to run them my way. Now, there's a small hole on the other side of the freaking house that they could have easily fucking ran the fucking wire down, under, and freaking kept it close enough to the freaking house where it wouldn't have been a problem to anybody. And then ran it down into the hole, and then up through my freaking, and me watching them do it. But they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't run another freaking line. They were like, he got nervous. He's like, he wants me to run the line. I was like, bro, I'm like, what the fuck? There would have been no damage to any of the fucking house. I know the fucking law from fucking 20-something fucking years ago. Don't tell me you can't fucking run the line underneath the fucking thing. Fucking, it's not coming in contact with no other fucking wires at that point. And run it through an already pre-fucking made hole. Therefore, cutting out any fucking splitters and or fucking anything else device-wise. Like the fucking thing that disappeared shortly after mentioning this to people on the phone. All of a sudden, fucking, yo, man, I'm telling you, yo, man. Because I didn't even wake up to the fact at that point that I should have gotten a whole lot more on fucking camera. A whole lot more. And that's that. And that's why. It's and that's what the fuck it's, because the way that this problem would have been fixed, simple as shit for everybody in our entire fucking country, I already figured out twice. That's why I'm saying to myself, like, yo, man, I'm sick of this shit. Like, look at the way I'm living. Fuck this. I call the cops about a fucking squirrel bringing me, which I didn't even realize. Even that. You know, when this cop shows up to get the freaking bone off the porch, I tell the cop, I said, I don't know how the bone got there. But and he's like, he didn't even want to believe that it was a freaking, I'm like, look at the fucking bone. And then he looked it up and he's like, okay, kind of looks, I'm like, yeah, kind of looks like you might want to take that, right? So he takes the bone. Now, as I'm talking to him, I'm saying, I'm like, I don't know how it got there. My fucking cameras won't go back more than 6 hours. Or 12 hours. 6 or 12 hours. That's all the cameras would go back at that point. 6 hours after the cop left, all of a sudden, my cameras were able to go back 2 days. 2 days that fucking bone was sitting up on that porch. And who was the... I'm like, well, let's find out who left it there. Let's see who left the human foot bone. Oh, look at this. It's a fucking squirrel. A fucking squirrel. Oh, my God. The text messages that I just showed you, like when you just wrote messages on the YouTube videos. When I went in to check to see if the freaking the link that you gave me, I was typing in the right way, I noticed that you wrote a second message. That second message was not there. And then as I'm making that video, all of a sudden, your third message shows up. So that's one thing, but there was a message in between then and there, man. It's what I'm saying. I was making the video to show you that the damn message that was supposed to be there was not in there. And then as I'm making that, you sent another message that did show up. Now, I don't know if that was the same message but in other words, there was some sort of fucked up shit happening. I'm figuring that you're one of 5 different people in my head, okay? What can I sit there and say other than that? It's like, you want to know what's interesting? Here's what's interesting too, right? Just sit the fuck down. My heart hurts, believe it or not. I don't even know who you are. I know what I've seen in my visions, in dreams, okay? And I know what I've seen in person standing there. I don't know who the fuck you are right now. I other than I have it narrowed down to 5 different or so people. And possibly one big old building called the fucking Pentagon. All right? You know what's really interesting? Here's what I'm about to say, because what I was about to say. So You know, it's like one of these people that are in my head. It's like I watched you get handcuffed in a certain location. So if you are or you are not, or if you are at least one of the people that know about the location where, I'm thinking, in other words, you know what's interesting is that all of a sudden a person gets an interesting incoming call. And when I looked up the area, it brought me right to that spot. And I'm saying to myself, wow, that's so interesting, in another state. Now, I was right there that day, if I remember correctly, that if it's you, you got handcuffed right in front of me. That's why I'm saying it's like, and then to think like, I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. After being sectioned off from pretty much fucking all of society, give me a fucking break. And then whoever the hell I'm talking to, which I don't even know who the fuck I'm talking to at this point, because like I said, it's like around about that same time, it's like there was multiple different things shown to me. One of those, yeah, I'm not even going to go any further than that, because one of those pathways of who, wow, that's why. And as far as it goes, that's why I'm thinking too. It's like all the other shit that I've already made and I've already said. So, you know, that's what the fucking point is that how many times I've went and tried to get fucking something documented the right way, and or at least documented, period, because I had no idea what the fuck was going on, but this needed to be documented, and then it wasn't. Or the fucking, or all of it. So I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. And I'm personally, my freaking, between my brain, my heart, my fucking, whatever. I am so, and the one thing that works is my dick. My fucking dick finally works after 20 something fucking years of trying to figure out, well, maybe I was just dying. Yeah, because I was. Wow. Yeah, so I've said what I had to say, and there's no need to talk anymore, because I don't like talking a whole lot. Fuck this, and so that's what I got to say about that. And now you see, just you at least when before that message, that second, what looked like the second message showing up. Just ask yourself, and it would be nice to get a reply too, and know if, did you write a message in between those two? Did you take your message, in other words, from the first message that I showed you in that one video, and then I started talking about how there was a second message, but there was nothing there. It was telling me that there was another message, but there was no message there. And as that other message appeared, was that the second message you wrote, or was that the third message you wrote? Because if it was the second message, that shit was not only super delayed, but it was notified twice that it was a message at that point. Even if I didn't catch that part on video, you've seen the message appear. So was that the second message, or was that the third message? Which then looked like the second fucking message. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably take a heart attack. No. But maybe.